Kingdom Hearts gets the free-to-play treatment, Kartuga's closed beta sets sail, Path of Exile is off to the races, Hailan Rising asks players to crash their servers, and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Kingdom Hearts is getting a new game, and no, it's not the sequel everyone's been waiting for. Instead, the announcement of Kingdom Hearts Kai marks the series' first venture into free-to-play territory. Don't get too excited just yet. Those of you hoping for a game with a combat similar to the original PlayStation 2 titles or the recent PSP title are unfortunately out of luck. According to a blog post on the official Japanese Square Enix site, the new game is browser-based and will use a card combat system similar to the one found in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the DS. The post makes mention of players using strategic battle cards acquired in-game in order to fight enemies. If you happen to pre-order Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix, you'll be awarded some in-game items for Kingdom Hearts Kai, including a Sora R Plus card, 20,000 money, and 4,000 draw points. The cards are obviously used in battle, while the money is used to synthesize cards, and draw points can be traded in for new cards. The game itself is being developed by Success Corporation, whose previous titles include Operation Darkness, Metal Saga, and Tokyo Beatdown. I keep telling myself that one of these days they'll actually announce Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe around the same time Half-Life 3 finally comes out too. It's time to start practicing your R's and Johnny Depp impressions because the closed beta for the upcoming PvP-focused action MMO Kartuga sets sail this week. For those unfamiliar with Kartuga, it's a surprisingly gorgeous-looking browser-based pirate ship-themed MMO where players can choose between several pirate ship classes along with full customization options courtesy of 9 skill branches. The beta includes access to the game's 2 PvP modes and 5 free roaming areas with NPC events available to participate in. Interested players can register for a chance at a beta key on the game's official site or try their luck at scoring one on InnoGame's Facebook page. Action RPGs have, for the most part, always been about 2 modes, normal and hardcore. Players play through their respective campaign difficulty under the relatively straightforward cyclical mindset of level up, collect better loot, profit. Any competition that arose within that dynamic usually consisted of who could make it through the campaign the quickest or without dying. Generally, developers didn't cater any special rewards or create real competition guidelines based around these inner community races to the finish line. That is until now. With Path of Exile, the developers at Grinding Gears have gone so far as to create whole seasons based around these once community-only competitions. Called race events, these competitions are short-term leagues that are separate from the main game with separate characters and varying goals. The first season of race events was just announced today and will bring prizes to those that finish in top place for each race, along with prizes for achieving good results for a set of events within a season, and prizes for placing at the top of the realm overall in a given season. According to Chris Wilson, producer at GG, the Race League rewards players who level up quickly and place in the top ranks of their character class, but there are also rewards for meeting objectives such as finishing side quests or fully clearing areas first. Race competitions only mark the first in a series of competitive modes GG will be implementing in the near future. So if blitzing through content is not really your style of competition, then rest assured other modes for players with less time on their hands will be made available. Are any of you planning on competing? The Aurora World, yet another Asian MMO import, is on its way to closed beta this March. The Aurora World is a tri-faction MMO with notable features such as 300-player PvP battles, a pet system that evolves as you level while also doubling as a mount, and yeah, that's all I've got. That isn't to say that that's all there is to do in the game. Quite the contrary, there are PvE quests and inevitable bosses to slay, all in an effort to restore balance to a war-torn land destroyed at one point in time by angry gods, but what MMO land hasn't been? In the end though, there just isn't a whole lot of information available. A quick glance at the site reveals all the aforementioned features, along with 4 professions to choose from, each having 2 subclasses to spec into. Curiously, 3 of the professions are magic-based in some way, with only one profession, the typical warrior, utilizing physical attacks. Regardless, if you want to try out the Aurora World, you'll need to wait until March 7th when the official closed beta is set to launch. Beta keys will be made available soon, and you can bet we'll most likely have some for you to snag in order to try the game out for yourself. The developers behind Hailan Rising opened their doors and welcomed players into the game's open beta last week, but not before challenging players to crash their servers. Yes, the developers actually wanted players to try their hardest to bring the servers to their knees. In return, the first 3 players to crash the servers were promised large sums of in-game currency and the promise of an original weapon named after their in-game character, awarded to the player who first crashes the server. The game is touted as the love child of Dark Age of Camelot and Call of Duty, according to the devs, and while to many the names DAOC and COD might not mix well in sentences with the phrase love child, it certainly piques one's interest to find out what it all really means. Accordingly, Hailan Rising is a fantasy PvP MMO that forgoes typical MMO standards such as gear grinding, levels, or class restrictions. Because of this, a player can wear any armor and utilize any spell. Finally, your wishes of becoming a wizard rogue in heavy armor can be fulfilled. Beyond these details, we honestly know little more. There is talk of strategic territory control, random loot drops, and instant PvP action, but the website's details are awfully sparse at the moment. Have you had a chance to check out Hailan Rising? And the game of the week is Steel Legions. Steel Legions is a 3D strategy browser game which pits 4 playable factions against each other in an epic struggle for domination. Players take control of a mechanical steampunk vehicle in an alternate timeline where factions must struggle for land, scarce resources, and power. Missions are randomly assigned to players in an open-world environment, and will have them working together with allied players in order to succeed in accomplishing their mission objectives while defeating players from opposing factions. Players can collect new gear and upgrade their war machine with construction parts in order to improve specific areas of their vehicles, such as its weapons and armor. As the player adds new technology to their war machine, its visual size and shape will change to reflect its newfound power. The combination of fast-paced PvP action, coupled with long-term enhancements, makes Steel Legions a fresh experience for new and seasoned players alike. Well, that's all the news we have for you this week, but before I go, I have a sad announcement. Unfortunately, my time at MMOBomb has come to an end. I've really enjoyed hosting Free to Play Weekly for the last several months and chatting with all you viewers in the comments on the site and on the forums, but I've decided that it's now time for me to leave in order to pursue new opportunities. I really hope you guys continue to watch all the awesome videos MMOBomb will undoubtedly continue to produce. And don't worry, I'll still be around interacting with the community. And if you do want to stay in touch with me, you can always check me out on Twitter at Jess Brohard. And now, for my last time, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and leave us a comment below. And until next week, you can check out MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action.